I built a second brain for my AI, and it's a game changer. It's not that hard to do. I think anybody can do it, and pretty much any level of AI user would benefit from it. For myself, being a generalist, having lots of different pursuits and interests and hobbies between financial, the health and keto, YouTube, and my DIY projects. Just, it's an all-around game changer. Let's take a look. Bad rap for being forgetful, and yeah, out of the box it is. Every new AI chat knows nothing about you. You have to explain yourself from scratch each time. It's kind of like working with a coworker that has short-term memory problems. So if I was to ask this new Claude chat about a new video idea, help me with my next YouTube video idea. It's going to try and ask me some questions and try and dig into it a little bit. What's it about? What am I trying to do? But in the end, it has no context. So it's given some different ideas about storytelling, education, trending forums, stuff like that. But if you build it a brain, then it already has the context and you'll get a lot better responses out of it. And it doesn't take a computer science degree to fix it. Let me show you how it works. So why did I build this? Back in school, when I was studying computer science, one of the things that really stuck with me was the advice from one of the professors is that the whole reason you kind of put in the time, take the notes, and then document things is you can get through it, and then it's written down and it can get out of your brain. So you're not constantly thinking about it or reliving it or trying to rework the problem. You've kind of thought through it, you've written it down, and now you can move on to other things. And to me, this is the real power of AI. And right now, like I was saying before, like out in the ether for some of these like paid plans where you have a subscription, and you can turn on the memory, and they may store some stuff out there in the cloud about your conversations in general, and then obviously like in a certain conversation thread, it knows about that thread. But having it have the deeper knowledge in all of your interactions is really powerful. And so the concept of the wiki is you can feed it the information that's important to you. One of the things that I did right out of the bat was you create a master statement, and this has everything. Like usually it's stored in instructions in different places for different projects, but you can put it all in one place and say this is how I prefer the information to be portrayed to me. You can tell it a lot about what are your goals, what are some of your projects, and what you do is you go into the chat and you have and you go back and forth and say I want to build out a master statement, and the chat will help you build that out, and then in the end you end up with a document, a markdown document that has pretty much your whole existence. It's your second brain. It doesn't have to be all the way to minute levels in the beginning, but you kind of start painting with broad strokes, and then this wiki it's a living document, and you can add to it over time. So for myself, I'm able to feed in all my transcripts of all my videos. I'm able to plan things out, and where it knows how I'm planning to link this video and funnel into this one, and I can bounce ideas off it. And like when I have a conversation with it, it already has that starting place and that background knowledge. And as new things come in, it'll point out any contradictions. So you know, obviously, if you're getting into YouTube, you end up out there looking at a lot of different creators with different advice, and some of them have some great advice on the 4 things you need to do before you even start filming a video. And maybe you put that into your wiki, and then the AI kind of notices the contradiction with what else is in there, and that's where you can tell it, well, these are the parts of the video that I found useful, and I wanted to work into my general concepts and kind of leave the rest, and then it can update that living document from there. So it's a really powerful tool. One of the nice things about it too, since AI is evolving so fast, if you go from, say I'm in Claude now, but I want to go over to ChatGPT, I have this whole wiki built out, and I can just copy it, bring it over. The memory is all on my local drive, and like the different models can give you ways to say, I want to move, so extract all my data, but it's not the same. And I'm going to take a couple minutes here and actually dive into it and kind of show you what this looks like. It's built with Obsidian and Claude Code, and you know, anybody can do this. So yeah, let's take a look at under the hood and see what this looks like. Dig into it a little bit. What does this look like? So you'll install the Obsidian app, which is the app that keeps track of all the files and indexes them. So what you end up doing to use this is you have this raw folder where you can drop in any data, any markdown files, any YouTube transcripts, any articles that you find, any kind of data. It gets dropped in here as your raw assets, and then what you'll do is you'll run against it in Claude Code and actually populate that raw data into the wiki. So what's the code going to do? It's going to dig through all the raw data. It's going to pull out the important points. It's going to decide these are the entities that the data came from, and it kind of builds a file around each entity. And then from each thing you upload, it'll actually come up with some concepts that it pulled out of your upload. So one of these was from a fairly popular YouTuber, you know, that kind of says, hey, these are the things you want to target for your audience, you know, their pain, a prize, or some news. But yeah, like it's going to parse all that information out of what you upload. It's going to get it into the wiki. It's going to index it, and in the end, what it does is, and this is the powerful part of Obsidian, instead of just having some random folder structure, is Obsidian is going to build these links between all the data. So for this flywheel system, you know, if you have your shorts that kind of feed into your long form videos that might funnel into some of your paid content or something like that, you know, it creates all these links So whenever you're in a session and you're asking Claude to a question, it has all this background knowledge already available to it. It doesn't need to go out to the web and search for some things and come back and give you an answer. Like, this is your tier 1 data that it's going to start with. It can definitely go out to the web and look for those things, but this is going to be its starting point because you've put this data into it, and that says to Claude that this is important. So how do we get data into the wiki? One way is if you're on a YouTube video where you found it to be helpful and there was some valuable insight in there, what you can do is you can come out here to the Obsidian web clipper, and this is where it downloads everything from the page and the complete transcript. And then you can actually save this file off into your raw folder, and then from the raw folder you would go in and prompt that you want to ingest this file, and then the AI will ingest the file. It'll pull out all the important points. It'll look at all the concepts that are already out there, and it'll give you feedback on how this enhances some of the concepts that you already have in your wiki, or expands on some other ones, or if it finds any contradictions. And then you can have your chat with it to kind of sort those out. And then when you get this your chat about this new information sorted out, then the wiki can be updated, and it'll update the index, and it'll update all the different relevant files that it pertains to from that graph tree that we saw. And that's how this stays a living document. So now that you've gotten the look under the hood, like what can this do for you? So for myself, having a living document that's indexed and updated and is really helpful. So I've been using it a lot for these YouTube videos and the ideas to kind of organize my thoughts. And every video or like potential video is in the wiki. So as I'm thinking about it and asking Claude questions, it has that background to help guide me. Like I said before, anybody can do this. It's not hard once you get it set up, and once you do get it set up, it's good practice, at least a couple, like once a day or once every other day. If you're on YouTube and you come across something that was really helpful, but as soon as you click off it, you're going to forget that. You go to the video, and like I showed previously, you can use the Obsidian extension to export the transcript, and then load it in, and then now it's stored in your wiki. It's created all the links between all of your different projects, and maybe you decide that these are some core principles that you want to work into a certain aspect of your life, and it'll update that entity. Same thing goes for the financial world. As you come across like good information that you trust, have the wiki ingest it, have it index it, and have it be a living document. This is a really powerful tool, and actually the concept for this, I can't remember the guy's name. I've only been looking in this AI for a couple months now, but he kind of came up with this for his coding, but then just in general, kind of put this concept out there, because that's really what the AI is lacking at the moment, is that memory, that persistent memory that grows over time. All right, so what can you do next? You know, how can you build one of these? Well, you start off, you look around and you download Obsidian and get it set up, and you start feeding it some data. Just remember that garbage in and garbage out. You know, you want to kind of gatekeep the data that you're feeding it at this point. You don't want to just drop a whole bunch of stuff in there. Just drop stuff that's important to you. Definitely start with a master statement, so the AI has some ideas about your goals, and just start using it. If you found this interesting and you'd like to learn more, you know, definitely like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below, and I can look at making a more of a walkthrough tutorial to maybe go through some examples. But in general, I hope this was helpful, and if you want to find out more about this channel and what we're trying to do here, check out this video. If not, take care.